First try. Oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Fike Club. My name is Richie Fike. I'm a 40-something father of a teenage smart aleck.
That's rude.
How do you know?
You could have just said smart person, a smart human being, a smart child of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yes, but also a smart aleck. Let's be real.
Okay, that's rude. That's rude. Could you please refer to it as a smart person of the Lord Jesus Christ? You know
what's true, though, is that, it's an oxymoron to say a teenage smart aleck, because all teenagers are smart alecks.
Wow. You could have just said teenager then.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Anyway, man, welcome back, Justice. We are back on the microphones after a little while. Our last episode was the Pokemon Adventures.
Pokemon.
What?
Pokemon.
Pokemon. I still don't say it right. We've seen some movies since Pokemon, but none really worth talking about, right?
I guess Godzilla, but that was just...
Godzilla! Godzilla was everything that you thought it was going to be, and really not worth talking about.
Yep.
The best part about Godzilla was the little close-ups they did on his face.
And the music where it intensified.
That's right. And I'm trying to remember, was the NBA season over when we did...
No, the finals were still going.
Finals were still going. So we missed the finals. So real quick, just as kind of a sum up, let's talk about what happened. Probably the most important thing that happened in the finals was KD's injury, right?
KD got injured Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to win Game 5, no doubt.
I think you're right.
In. And they were going to come back and win the series.
I think if KD's on the floor all three of those last games, you got a real shot at having one of the great comebacks of all time.
Even if Clay still gets injured Game 6, I think they win.
It was just a crazy amount of kind of strange little things that happened in that series. It was a really good NBA Finals, and Kawhi did it.
Kawhi now he's in LA.
Yeah, well, as of this morning at 2 a.m., there were 2 earthquakes that happened in Los Angeles. One of them was actual, and one of them was Kawhi. But we'll get to that in boss moves because we have a lot of free agency talk about. But that's pretty crazy. But anyway, so Toronto Raptors won the championship, which, I think you and I are probably the same in that as long as the Warriors didn't win, it was a great finals, right?
I feel like I didn't really care who won.
Oh.
I was just waiting for KD to leave. I feel like that's how every NBA fan other than a Raptors and Warriors fan felt.
Yeah, it's so interesting how the NBA has become more compelling off the court than on the court. Like, the product on the court is a lot of fun, but what people are thinking and what they're going to do and the sort of player player empowerment.
Player movement.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to see how the NBA is really reflective of a totally different mindset generationally about how to handle empowerment with the players.
And I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's the correct move.
Man, the thing is, if you're a small market fan...
Yeah, like if you're a small market team, this is not what you want.
Yeah, Indiana, Oklahoma City, even Milwaukee. And Milwaukee's going to have this in 2 years.
Milwaukee, when Giannis is about to get his Supermax... Yeah. It's going to be a weird situation where, is he going to leave?
Well, and what's crazy is they made the Supermax deal so that it would entice superstar players to stay wherever they were drafted because they're going to make more money with the team they were drafted with than with some other free agency team because the other team can't pay them as much as that team that drafted them can.
But players just haven't really cared that much.
Yeah, and you're quibbling over a couple, $2-3 million. So, I don't know, man.
They want to win, so they're going to say, hey, I don't need that Supermax.
P.S. I'd love to quibble over a couple, $2-3 million.
I would.
You know.
Well, it's not $2-3 million. It's another $30-40 million.
Yeah, but I mean, when you get in the $400 million range, and it's like, okay, I could get paid $400 million for a team that I really want to play for, or I could get $430 for the team that drafted me. I'll take the $400. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing. You
Pretty
know?
much.
It's crazy.
They need to make it almost $100 million cap.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
They have to make it to where it's like, man, do I really want to miss out on this amount of money? Or do I want to go play with my friends?
I just think it's going to make it harder and harder for small market teams to contend for championships. I mean, God bless Toronto. You know, the other thing I was thinking about, I know we're jumping way ahead here, but the other thing I was thinking about was with Paul George and Kawhi going to LA, it's like that whole idea of rent a player. Mm-hmm. You know, okay, well we're gonna make this trade for this player who wants out of his team. We'll take a risk and trade for him and try to woo him to stay with us. And you thought it was going to work out with Oklahoma City, and then boom, they have to trade him.
It did until Kawhi Leonard was like, "Hey,
1 year."
They got him to sign a max contract instead of going to the Lakers.
Yeah, but he only stayed for 1 year.
Yeah, but do you know what they did in that 1 year? That was one of the best seasons in the Seattle SuperSonics Oklahoma City Thunder franchise.
This year?
Yeah.
Well,
they were
a 5 seed.
Yeah. That's pretty good for a team.
No, they went to the NBA Finals, my G.
Yeah, with Kevin Durant.
Yeah, but you just said that it was one of their best seasons ever. It wasn't.
Yeah, because you have to think of the seasons where they were tanking in the 2000s to get KD, Russell Westbrook, James Harden. Yeah. Those were some pretty bad seasons.
This was a mediocre season for them.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't Charlotte mediocre or New Jersey mediocre.
Like if that was the Charlotte Hornets season, that would have been the best Charlotte Hornets season of all time.
I hear what you're saying. You're right. I get you. All right. So anyway, lots to talk about. This is going to be a fun pod. We got a ton to talk about. But let's start with our movie of the week. This is a movie that we've been looking forward to really since we walked out of its original. We're like, wow, that was so good. I'm so excited about this story. And so this week, our movie of the week is Spider-Man Far From Home.
The movie of the week.
See the movies. Old stuff and the newbies. Movies, see the movies. Fight Club at the movies. Movies, see the movies. Don't sleep on the Goonies. Movies, see the movies. Old stuff and the newbies. Movies. Movies.
The movie of the week.
Yeah, man. Now, this is the first kind of post-Avengers movie from the MCU. And they reportedly said that this was the end of the chapter. All the hullabaloo about this movie after Avengers was that really this was the final chapter of that whole Snapchat event. And this would be kind of the button that was put on top of, the whole thing that kind of seals it all together. And I guess it did that.
It was the aftermath.
I guess so. Yeah, like you had, for example, high school students that when the Snapchat happened, they were halfway through their, junior year?
Let's see, 16, so junior or sophomore year.
Yeah. And so the one funny thing was one of the kids that now is hanging out with them was 11 at the time of the Snapchat, and now he's 16. And they all come back, and they knew him as an 11-year-old, but now he's 16. And he's hitting on MJ, and he's not cool.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking he's an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
In their heads, he's 11.
Yeah, and he's never not going to be that way to them.
And now he's hitting on a girl.
Yeah.
It's weird.
There's a lot of funny stuff like that. As I was watching the movie, first of all, I really liked it. Did you really like it?
I did.
I mean, Marvel doesn't miss.
Marvel doesn't miss, but this felt more like a romantic thing than an actual, action film.
About halfway through the movie, I was thinking to myself, and, they go to Paris. They go to Prague. They go to Italy.
They go to, somewhere in Italy.
And
Venice.
And what was interesting about, even with all of that and the grandeur of all that, it felt small. Like, didn't it feel like a kind of like an intimate, small movie?
I don't think you can have, like, there will never be a movie until, like, the next big Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That's because, like, we're thinking Thanos.
Yeah.
Thanos, and even before that, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
His character was, like, saying, we're going to kill off all the white people.
No. We're going to kill all the white people.
That's what he was saying.
In Black Panther?
Yeah, in Black Panther he was saying, I'm going to kill all the white people and make them my slaves.
I don't remember that at all.
That was his whole character arc. He wanted to bring black people in charge of all the countries and have white people as slaves.
I don't remember that at all. At all.
I watched the movie last week.
And that's what he said?
No, he didn't say that in, like, exact words, but it was pretty clear that's what he wanted.
Okay, I'm going to need the listeners to weigh in on this because this is like a ravenous take that you have. This is a take.
No, it's like, it's the actual film. If you go back and watch it, he wanted to kill all white people.
Don't say that about Michael B. Jordan. I love Michael B. Jordan.
Eric Killmonger wanted to.
I love Killmonger. I believe that he was right about everything.
That
I don't think he said he wanted to kill me.
He did.
He didn't want to kill me. He didn't know me. If he got to know me, he wouldn't want to kill me.
He's not going to get to know
you. He would want to kill you.
Oh, that's rude.
Because you got white privilege all over you.
Oh, that's rude.
Okay.
Just because I grew up with good parents doesn't mean I'm white privileged.
I want you to know I received that. All right, so back to Spider-Man. So this is the aftermath of the Snapture. Peter Parker is wanting a break. I mean, you kind of start the movie with him kind of going, man, I just want a vacation. And so he's happy to go on this vacation. The big plans that he's thinking about is he's trying to figure out how to get MJ to kind of, pay attention to him and see if he can get a kiss on the top of the Eiffel Tower. That's like his big dream, right?
That's the dream.
Yeah. So we don't want to give too many spoilers away, but then at the very, very first scene of the movie, before you even get the opener, you get this random fight scene between a guy who we find out later, his name is something Beck. What was his first name? Quentin Beck. And he's played by Jake Gyllenhaal. You don't see his face at the top. He's got this globe thing over his head. And he's fighting kind of a wind monster or something. And then it goes to the credits. You're like, whoa, what is that? And then they don't really mention him again until we get to Italy. And then we see him again. And you're trying to figure out, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? He's fighting what seems to be a really destructive force. And then he is introduced, and this isn't a spoiler because it was in the previews, he's introduced as a guy that's from a different, like a multiverse. He's from a different Earth. And his planet has been destroyed, and now he's come here to save our planet from the same thing that destroyed his. Mm-hmm. Right?
Am I allowed to say anything?
I mean, as long as it's not a spoiler. I think everything I've just said, just by watching the previews, you could know. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we going into a spoiler warning now?
I'll give you an opportunity to go spoilers. Let's just talk vaguely for a minute.
Okay. It's very hard to talk vaguely about this film. I have to say that.
Why?
Because you get the basis of it just from the trailer.
Yeah.
So after that, it goes into spoiler territory.
Okay. And you're dying to talk spoilers right now?
No, it's just like, it's very hard for me. You're going to end up telling me, hey, can you tell us the story? And I'm going to be like, oh, I can't do this without...
No, I'm not going to do that until we get into, like, requisite spoiler alert.
Okay.
So, anyway, so they go on a trip. You meet Mysterio. You meet Quentin Beck, and then later the Italian people call him something Mysterio because he's a mystery. Who is he? And that's how his name becomes Mysterio. And then at the center of all of that is Nick Fury and the white lady agent. Do you know her name?
Agent Shield.
I don't think that's it. I think it's Agent White Lady.
Killmonger would be sad.
Killmonger's number one enemy, Agent White Lady. I must kill her, for she is white. Oh, my soul.
Yo,
right.
I wonder if Nick Fury would become the president. That's my honest question. If Killmonger had something, would Fury become the president?
Well, I mean, he's black, so.
Or would they just say, nah, Obama?
Yeah. I mean, sure. I know who it wouldn't be.
Who?
Number 45.
True.
That's right. Okay, so that really is to me, thinking about the trailers of the movie, up until that moment where we think we understand who Jake Gyllenhaal's character is, we get the point that he doesn't want to have to do the Spider-Man stuff while he's on vacation. Nick Fury really wants him there. I think everything up until that moment is totally like spoiler free.
And then the rest of the story.
And then the rest of the story is like, okay, so from this point on, if you're gonna listen to us talk about Spider-Man, we're gonna spoil it for you. So we're at the 16-minute mark, and we're giving you all the warning you need. Look in the notes for when it's safe to come back. Okay, so spoilers. So then, what happens next is you find out that Mysterio. Oh, and the other thing that we didn't know before I say about Mysterio is that Tony Stark has left Peter Parker these really cool glasses.
The glasses, which are become a big part of the story.
Tell us about the glasses.
All right, so these glasses, okay, they have everything that Tony has created up in space. So if you remember from Civil War or what was the Age of Ultron, he called down the Hulk suit where he fights Hulk. And that came from space.
Yeah.
So he has all his storage in space, which is pretty smart. And it orbits the planet. And with these glasses, he can say, hey, bring me this from space. And there it goes. Yeah.
Anyway, so the point is these glasses have like smart tech loaded into them. He can talk to the computer. The computer's name is Edith. Every day, I'm the hero.
No, even in death, I am the hero.
Oh, even in death, I'm the hero. Yeah, Edith.
Pretty cocky.
Yeah, which is funny. And these glasses are meant to sort of connect Peter Parker to all of the genius that is Tony Stark and Stark Industries. And there's a little note that says, you will know who these glasses are. No,
it says something along the lines of, I entrust you to pick to be the next Iron Man or something.
To find the next Iron Man.
To find the next Iron Man.
These glasses belong to the next Iron Man or something to that
And then
effect.
like a wink face saying, hey, this is you.
Yeah. And so you get the sense that Tony Stark has picked Peter Parker to be the next kind of leader of the Avengers, which is crazy because he's a kid. He's 16, 17. And all he's thinking about is MJ. Yeah. You know, he's not thinking about saving the world or being the guy that's responsible for this global Avengers team. So anyway, that happens, and those glasses are really important because once he meets Quentin Beck, and Quentin Beck saves the planet twice in front of him, then it's like they've done it, they've saved the world. We're halfway through the movie, and it feels like it's the end of the movie. They're sitting in this bar, and, you know, he's like, I'm not old enough to drink, and that's fine. They're sitting there. And as he's sitting there talking to Quentin Beck, he decides, man, you should have these glasses. These glasses belong to you. You are the kind of hero that this planet needs.
May I explain the scene?
Sure.
So the glasses are on the ground, and Beck is like clearly looking at them with like a smirk and saying, hey, aren't those your glasses that Tony gave to you?
So he brings it up.
And then little old Peter says, hey, yeah, those are. And then he says, how about you put them on? Let's see what you look like in them. And he puts them on. And then Peter says, how do they look? And then Beck says, they don't look that good on you. It doesn't look natural. And then Tom or Peter says, hey, why don't you try them on?
Right.
And then Beck tries them on. And Tom's like, man, this is really what it should be. He says, I think Tony picked me to pick the next Iron Man,
right,
not be the next Iron Man.
Right.
So trying to get himself out of the responsibility so he could have a normal life and be with MJ.
So he manipulated him, and it was slick.
It was slick manipulation.
And then he walks out, Peter Parker walks out, and all of a sudden, Quentin Beck changes characters, and he goes, see, that wasn't that hard. And the whole bar is kind of looking at him, and they're celebrating
And,
him.
there's, hologram stuff.
Yeah, because the whole room was filled with holographs. And it turns out that Beck, Mysterio, is really just this genius tech guy who has figured out how to use drones and holograms to create the effect of destructive evil characters that are so lifelike and convincing that it makes Mysterio look like the greatest hero on the earth, so that he can be celebrated and that he can be powerful. And really, it's like that quote, insecurity is loud and confidence is quiet. Mm-hmm. This poor guy has just been beat up his whole life from people that were more powerful than him. They give us some backstory of how he worked for Tony Stark, and Tony Stark kind of belittled him, and he felt like he was made to look like a fool. And then all the other guys on his little squad, his little, evil team of people, are all people that we've actually seen, which I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
They showed, scenes from previous movies where random, no-name, no-face guys that you wouldn't have noticed before are now in this dude's crew. And they're running this whole machine to make it all work. And that was pretty cool. So I knew there was a twist coming. I knew there was no way that he was really a good guy. But I didn't think it was going to be that elaborate and that creative.
Yeah, it was a very creative change. I thought he was just going to turn evil all of a sudden. I thought that was going to be what happened.
Yeah, and so, once again, we talked about this before, but, the best bad guys in any movie or any story are people that have a, quote, righteous cause.
They think they're in the right.
Yeah, they think that what they're doing is the right thing. And this guy, even though I think he knows that he's deceiving people, he feels like, I'm the one that came up with all this brilliant tech. Tony Stark got all the credit for it. It's now time for me to be celebrated. And I think that was his motivation. Right?
I also think as soon as he got the glasses, it was clear that he was sort of a hotshot. He thought he was better than everyone.
Yeah, well, he probably always thought that.
Yeah, I mean, that's any tech person.
So then how did Spider-Man figure out that he was evil?
Pretty much. So they get back. He gets back. They're in Prague, and they're saying, we're going home. Two monsters have showed up. We're just going to leave.
In the two cities that we visited, spoiler alert, you guys are bad luck on monsters.
So they said, we're just going to go back to New Jersey. And he's talking to his friend, and then he's talking to MJ. And he goes up to the door. He says, hey, do you want to go outside in 10 minutes? She says, 5 minutes.
Right.
And he was like, okay, I'll be there. They go out. He says, hey, I have something very important to tell you. I am. And then MJ says, Spider-Man? And then they do a conversation no, I'm not Spider-Man. And then she has this thing and says, so what? So how come you and because he has another suit that he's using in Europe, have the same tech.
Right. He's the Night Monkey.
The Night Monkey. What a stupid name.
Which is actually Judah's nickname. Judah is the actual Night Monkey.
So, so they do that, and then the projection shows up, and it's the monster that they fought in Venice, in Italy.
Right.
So they're like, oh, this is weird. Something's wrong here.
That's right. That's how he figured it out, because it was a holographic projector.
Yeah. That
they found, and when they turned it on, it looked like the smoke monster was right on top of them, and he wasn't, and that's how they knew.
Then we cut to Mysterio, Jack Gyllenhaal, and he's they're going through the scene again just to make sure nothing wrong happened.
That was such a cool scene where he's trying to set the stage for the next big fight, and he's like, no, I need more smoke, I need more convincing lighting. He's playing as the producer of this moment. It was so cool. Yeah,
and then he says, "Hey, why is this a glitch?" Because when he put on the suit, it was a vibrating arm, And he was like, hey, what's this? And then he said, oh, one of the projectors went missing.
Yeah. And when he went back and looked, he figured out that Peter Parker and MJ had found it. So then what's cool about that is, so now he knows that they know that he's a deceiver, right?
And then it's like, oh. And then he says, just so you know, this is your blood on your hands.
Right. I thought the best scene in the movie was the next fight scene where Spider-Man got his butt handed to him, because it was in this elaborate big giant building that Mysterio had set up to be basically like a hall of mirrors, crazy town. Like the holograms that he used to deceive Spider-Man and beat him in that scene were really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. It was a really good scene.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome, and then I thought the last fight scene was pretty cool too.
I'm gonna be honest. The last fight scene, it was cool, but just because the final fight scene of the last film was so great
Of Avengers
Endgame,
it was just more epic.
Because with Avengers Endgame, every 3 seconds something really cool was happening.
Right.
I felt like the ending of this film, there was no way it would ever be known as great, but it was really good.
That's what I'm saying. It felt small. Like it felt like a smaller film. It's so wild how that is. I mean, the CG and the artwork that they're using now to make these movies are so big and awesome. And I kind of liked that it felt small. Like it felt like you were in it with them, and that was cool. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I mean, not to like belabor the point. They fought. You already know who's going to win because it's Spider-Man, and he's just a normal guy. The guy doesn't have any special powers. He's just smart. He's really smart, and he's got a kabillion drones that are all armed to the T.
And now he has Edith.
And he has Edith, so he has a lot of weapons at his disposal.
He has a lot of killer drones.
So I thought that was that last scene was cool, and then really, you said before we started to record, you thought that the little teaser at the very, very end of the movie was the most important scene in the movie. Mm-hmm. Talk about that. So,
the end of the film, the official film, before we go to the, cool credits, where it's like, pictures, it was him and MJ swinging around and, laughing. So, we go to the credits, come back, and it's still going on. He puts her down, and then he swings back up to a lamp, and then on like the big MGM, or not MGM, Madison Square Garden screen outside of Madison Square Garden.
Right.
There was a news broadcast, and it was a video that was sent in, and it was saying like all these bad things and showing Peter saying, "Hey, I'm going to kill them all."
Well, it's Mysterio pretending like he was a good guy and saying that everything that had happened in London happened because, or in Paris happened.
London.
Was it London?
London.
Yeah.
London Bridge.
Happened because of Spider-Man, because Spider-Man had decided that he was going to be the next Iron Man, and so he did all this stuff. He basically framed Spider-Man with the little video and the way he manipulated it. And the guy, J. Jameson, what's his name?
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, the guy that was in the
original,
the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man shows up as this like 2019. Like it looks like he's in a podcast studio.
You know the what's the guy's name? The dude that said, have you ever seen that video clip of that guy saying the toxicity is making the frogs gay?
What?
You never seen that?
What are you talking about?
So like there's this guy, I'm mad I'm forgetting his name.
Okay.
But like he's an older guy.
Okay.
And pretty much the character of J. Jonah Jameson is pretty much him, and it's J. Jonah Jameson is like the fictional form. He was created before this guy was like famous, but now that he's famous,
and
he's pretty much J. Jonah Jameson.
What's the context of the gay frogs?
I don't know, man. I just saw the clip.
The toxicity is making the frogs gay.
So, like, there was, like, toxic stuff going into lakes, and it was making frogs gay. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway.
Someone has to know this guy's name.
Please, if you know about this, please tell me because I'm lost. This is officially an age gap situation. I don't know about the toxic gay frogs.
No, he's like a podcaster and he's like a political person.
Okay.
I know of him, don't know his name.
All right. We'll look it up and figure it out. So let me ask you a couple questions. Did the movie live up to your expectations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Marvel film. Marvel never misses except for Captain Marvel.
They really missed on that one. I told you to.
Yeah. It was miss. It was the only miss. And it's the thing. That's the only thing DC has one-upped Marvel. Wonder Woman was better than Captain Marvel.
Well, it's a better character.
Also, they're doing a Wonder Woman and another Wonder Woman movie in 2020.
I know, 1984.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Wonder Woman 1984. So it lived up to your expectations. What was your favorite scene in the movie?
The post-credit.
Post-credit. Who's your favorite character?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
How about the relationship between... what's his name? The chubby guy?
Oh, I'm forgetting it.
I don't know his name. But him and the little blonde girl...
That was funny.
They have a little relationship that lasts for the trip, and then it doesn't work out.
And his like, so the funniest part of the film for me was he was like, how did Peter Parker was asking him, how did you and her get together?
Yeah.
He was saying, well, you see, a boy, because his plan was to be a bachelor.
Yeah.
In Europe.
Yeah.
And his thought process was
because Europeans love Americans. That was his line.
So he said to Peter, boy, so I was a boy. I was a boy.
Yeah.
But you see, I became a man.
Right.
And a man needs a woman.
A man needs a woman.
So it was probably the funniest line.
I love that, like, within 30 seconds of them dating, they were calling each other babe. Everything was babe. Babe. Hey, babe. 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 Hey, babe. You're going to need the sunscreen, babe. Like...
And then one of the funniest scenes was when Tom Holland put on Edith for the first time.
Yeah.
He looked over there and he was texting her, miss you. And she was texting back, miss you too. And they were sitting right by each other.
Yeah, that was so good. All that stuff was great. Okay, you ready for this question? Where do you recognize the Bible in this story?
Ooh.
I got two good ones for you.
Please tell me.
No, I want to hear yours first.
I see a little bit of Judas.
Judas?
Yeah, Judas. Sorry, it's so bad.
Not Judah.
I know.
Judas.
Sorry, I got the little one and probably the worst person mixed up.
Who's Judas?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
Because he deceived Spider-Man.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's the only one I can immediately think of.
You remember the story of Jacob and Esau?
Yeah.
You remember it?
I'm forgetting it.
Jacob and Esau were brothers.
Oh, he kills his brother.
Well, yeah. And his brother was hairy. Remember?
Yeah.
Esau was very, very hairy.
Esau was very hairy. No, he doesn't kill him. Esau comes back later because he's good. He's good, brother. Yeah.
But his dad was old, and he wanted his dad's inheritance, and so he killed an animal and put the fur of the animal on his hands.
Very
and his father
creative
went
story.
out. His father went out and said, "Can I touch your hand?" He touches his hand and feels the fur, and he believes that he's Esau. And that reminded me of the elaborate hoax that Quentin Beck went through in order to be perceived as a thing that he wasn't.
Yeah, and he also had an accomplice, his mother. His mother loved him, and she wanted the money.
That's right.
She wanted him to have the money.
That's right. And he had a lot of accomplices to get it done. So I thought about that. I just love how, like, there's nothing new, man. The Bible is like...
The Bible has every story arc.
It's the
possible.
ultimate source for great storytelling, you know?
Other than Psalms. I don't see any good stories in Psalms.
Man, the Psalms are great because what they do is the Psalms ought to be like your secret weapon. Because you know how you'll go from being like really happy to really angry to
Yeah.
really sad to really elated all in like 30
What
minutes?
does elated mean?
Like fired up, excited.
Oh, yeah.
In like 30 minutes?
Yeah.
That's the Psalms.
That really
the
is.
Psalms will
That's
be
true.
like, the Psalms will start with like David saying, I love you, Lord. Oh, I love you. You've never let me down. You're so faithful to me. In every moment and every season of my life, I look back and see your faithful hand. I love you, Lord. Kill my enemies. Kill them, Lord. They hate me. They hate me for all the things I do right. I hate them. Kill them, Lord. Where are you, Lord? Where'd you go, Lord? I don't understand.
I just asked for you to kill all my
Where'd
people.
you go? Will you leave me and forsake me forever? I love you, Jesus. I love you, Lord. Oh, my Lord is my light. Like all in one psalm, in like 7 verses. That's you on a Tuesday afternoon.
Not Tuesday.
I witnessed it at camp this week. I witnessed just the sharp hairpin turn of emotion that you can navigate. It's incredible. It usually revolves around food, though.
That's true.
They invented the word hangry.
For me.
Yeah, like your picture is next to that word in the dictionary.
Pretty much, if one of your presents for me for like my birthday or something should just be like one of those like mugs, and it says hangry and just the definition of hangry.
You got it. I'm going to get that for you. Anyway, Bible's awesome. You should read the Psalms more because it'll legitimize all of your craziness.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's give this movie a score. Scale of 1 to 5. How many fikes would you give it?
1 to 5.
Yeah.
4.2.
4.2. Why?
It was a really good Spider-Man movie, but not as good as the original. I have the original at 4.5, so I give it a 4.2.
Yeah, 4.2. I was thinking right around that range. I mean, a scale of 1 to 5, I'd probably give it a 4. I'd give it a 4.
I'll just say 4 because 4.2
I don't know,
is
man.
weird.
I got to tell you, I'm nodding off in these movies a lot more lately. I think I'm getting old, bro.
You are.
Like, dude, you sit down in these cold theaters and you got your feet
It
up.
wasn't cold.
sitting
I was sweating.
Sitting on a recliner, laid back.
The good news is in the theater that we go to, the recliner only goes to like a 45 inch.
Yeah, that
45 degree.
I wish it would. But if you sit low on it, the lower you sit, the more it feels like you're fully reclined.
You should just go all the way up so you don't fall asleep.
I tried that. I tried moving around in the chair. Anyway, I give it a 4 out of 5. And that is our review for Spider-Man Far From Home. Man, if you have thoughts or questions about that movie and you want to let us know what you think, you can always tell us at The Fight Club on Twitter. And you can find us on our Facebook page. And you can find us on Instagram at The Fight Club. Without further ado, though, we want to get into, man, you talk about a crazy, week of NBA free agency. It's time for us to chop it up in this week's segment of Boss Moves.
Boss moves. We need bacon. Boss moves. We need bacon. Boss moves. We need bacon. Boss moves. Boss moves.
All right, here's how we're going to do this, Justice. So many players moved teams, and it felt like the linchpin to the whole thing was Kevin Durant moving to the Nets, who kind of followed Kyrie there. Mm-hmm. Kyrie got there first, but and then that just sent all the dominoes falling. I mean, we had the AD trade before the draft.
Yeah, I'm not counting that as part of my 5 biggest moves.
No, I don't think so either. I'm really thinking just about free agency and what happened really on July 1st. We were driving back from Colorado. We had been up in Colorado all week last week, and we were driving back on the 30th, and free agency started at like 4 p.m. or something.
Yeah, 4.
And you just got like ding after ding on your phone for hours as we were driving home, which made it kind of a fun little drive, right?
Yeah, that was the only reason I didn't throw up.
And so let's talk about this. This is the question I want to ask you, Justice. What do you think were the top 5 most significant boss move, free agency, player changes that happened on June 30th, July 1st, and really even throughout the course of this week up until today?
Okay, so number 1 is Kawhi Leonard and Paul George meeting up in Los Angeles, but not for the Lakers, for the Clippers.
Right.
That's easily the biggest move.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel like that's the correct move. I was rooting for him to go back to Toronto just because I want parity, and so I think this was a great move. And it's clear the league right now is a league of duos. There's like 9 teams that have a really good duo.
That's a good, that's a good observation. Man, what happens now for the Raptors? They not only did they lose Kawhi, they lost Danny Green.
Bold prediction: Raptors miss the playoffs.
Whoa, you think it's a rebuild?
I think they're going to be the 9th seed in the East.
Wow,
they're going to miss out by like 3 games.
All right, I'll bet you right now that the Raptors make the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Let's put it on wax.
Put it on wax?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means we're talking about it on while we're recording, and it can never be taken away.
Okay.
So what's the bet? You say the Raptors miss the playoffs. I say they make it.
Okay.
And what's the bet?
You choose.
All right, I'll think about it. I'll think about what it is.
Let's go. You know what? Let's go. If I'm correct,
Yes.
you will bring me Chick-fil-A one day at school.
Oh, okay.
And if I'm incorrect, I will pay one of your Chick-fil-A meals.
I was thinking more like I would get like a foot massage.
No.
Like a 20-minute foot massage.
No. That's $100 to pay someone.
Right after a tennis match.
No.
So it's like stinky and like cheesy.
I can't smell, and I'm not doing that.
Oh, well then you're perfect. That's the bet.
No,
I'll bring you Chick-fil-A. You rub my feet.
No, I'm not rubbing your feet.
What's wrong?
Your feet are disgusting. I've seen your feet. My feet are disgusting.
My feet are pristine. I do have plantar fasciitis, though.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
I hope you never have it. All right, so number 1 you say is Kawhi and Paul George. P.S. Paul George on the all-time, for me, all-time you can have him team. You can have him. What did I tell you this morning after we learned about the Kawhi? What did I tell you?
You said Russell Westbrook got traded to the Nuggets?
No, that was a joke. No, what did I tell you? What did I say about the Nuggets?
You said we should trade for Russell Westbrook?
No, I didn't. You don't listen to me.
You woke me up.
I said...
I just woke up.
I said, although I think that was a good move for Kawhi, I am not afraid of this team. I'm not afraid of the Clippers, as they are currently constituted with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. As a Nuggets fan, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of them.
Broke my earlobes.
I just want you to know I'm not afraid of them. Okay?
So you think the final 2 in the West is going to be Jazz Nuggets?
Yes.
So you're saying Jazz are going to beat us?
Yes. You heard it here first.
So you're saying...
You're jumping way ahead on this.
Okay.
Jumping way ahead on this.
All right. We're just going to keep going to my number 2 most important move.
Okay.
Al Horford and Josh Richardson going to the Sixers. My number 3 move.
Wait a second. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, of course.
Who is Josh Richardson? Because I've never heard of him.
He is a young star who's 24 and is a 3-point shooter. He's pretty much going to be the JJ Redick replacement.
Where did he play college?
I don't know.
I've never heard of him.
He's 24 and he's part of the JB trade.
Do you know that I watched the League Pass and I've never heard of Josh Richardson?
Well, then you don't know what you're doing. He's averaging 22 a night.
Never heard of this dude.
You've never heard of him?
And he's great, you say.
He's good.
And you think he's going to make Philly the favorite in the East?
He's not doing it. Al Horford is.
You love Al Horford.
Al Horford's doing it.
Wow. Okay, so that was your number 2. What was your number 3?
KD and Kyrie. To the
KD
Nets.
and Kyrie. And we won't really feel that.
We're not going to know till 2021, 2022
Yeah.
if this is a good move.
Yeah.
And my number 4 is...
Let me ask you a question. Why? Just tell me why. Why, if you're Kevin Durant and you injured yourself while playing for the Warriors, you came back like a hero. You fought back to come back in that Game 5 and injure yourself again. Every one of those players is crying. They love you. They don't want to see you hurt. They're proud of you. They're excited you're on their team. Why are you going to go play for the New Jersey losers?
They're not New Jersey. They're Brooklyn.
Okay, why are you going to go play for the Brooklyn Nobodies?
They're not the
Why?
Nobodies. They almost upset the Sixers in the playoffs.
Come on, man.
And the Sixers, if
Come
it
on, man.
weren't for Kawhi making that miracle shot, the first ever buzzer beater in a Game 7, the first shot of its kind, the only shot of its kind, will never be done again by anyone on this planet.
Whoa.
It was a miracle shot. They were going to win that game.
Which game?
Game 7 versus the Toronto Raptors. Tie game.
Yeah.
7 seconds left.
Right.
Kawhi makes a miracle shot to win it. They go on to beat the Bucks. They go on to beat the Warriors. If it goes into overtime, the Sixers would have won. And then the Sixers versus Bucks, I would take the Sixers
We're
any
talking
day.
about the Nets right now.
Yeah,
How'd you get on the Sixers?
because we were talking about the Nets.
Right. So how did we get on the Sixers?
Because the Nets played the Sixers.
Bruh, you lost me. That was 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon right there. You lost me.
I lost myself.
I know. I don't know. I don't think you even know what you're talking about. And it will never, ever happen again. What will never happen? The census. What? They're never going to count anybody on the history of the planet, ever. What are you talking about right now? Chicken wings. What? What are you talking about? Purple nurples. Now what? Say something else. Like, you went Stephen A. Smith on me. We didn't even know what you was talking about. What's going on?
Sorry.
Smurfette was a fox. What? I could do a somersault in my sleep. What are you talking about?
All right.
Okay. All right. So that was your number 4. No, but I'm asking you.
That was my number 3.
Talk to me about what is going through Kevin Durant's brain that makes him think I need to leave a championship, not just a championship, but like a dynasty, to go play for the Nets? I don't understand it. Talk to me.
Can you tell me who was on that 2016 Olympic gold medalist team for the U.S. basketball team?
Nah, bruh.
2 players.
Who?
Actually, 3 players. Kevin
I
Durant,
think they probably had 16 players.
DeAndre Jordan,
Uh-huh.
and Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
You know where they all are right now?
You're saying that because they're close friends, they want to play together?
Because they were close friends on that U.S. Olympic team, it's clear that one thing is pretty clear. He was not friends with any of the Golden State Warriors.
Whoa. Bow, 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 bow. Shots fired.
He was mutual with them.
Okay.
I mean, when Draymond Green's killing you, saying, we don't need you, and then they actually needed you, I don't think I would go back.
Wow.
I'm very surprised they didn't go to the Knicks.
I
That's
feel like
my
it's
only
the
thing.
height of millennialism. Like, he's thinking with his emotions and he's just not thinking straight. But I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm officially don't get it on that one. So, all right, number 4.
Jimmy Butler to the Heat.
Wow. So for me, that one was really surprising.
I thought he was going to go to the Rockets.
Yeah, or the Lakers.
Yeah.
They need him on the Lakers.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. Or why not? I mean, why? I don't think they're going to be better than Philly.
They're going to be the 4th or 5th best team in the East.
I didn't understand it.
I don't understand why he didn't just want to stay in Philly.
Yeah, Butler's another one of those guys that just... How long was his contract he signed? 2 years?
4 years.
Wow. I mean, we'll see.
Well, the man played with Tom Thibodeau for 7-8 years, so I feel his pain.
You think that messed him up?
He's saying to himself, I don't know how much longer I have. I need to get the money.
Okay. That one flummoxed me. All right, number 5.
D'Angelo Russell going to the Warriors, creating the only big three in the league.
The only big three in the league. That's where I think you're wrong. I can name 3 players that are very important to me.
Who?
Jokic, Murray, Gary Harris.
Gary Harris
How
is
about
not
Paul,
that elite
Paul
player.
Millsap?
Paul Millsap is not that elite player.
MPJ, say something.
If MPJ becomes a 10, 15
Michael
point
Porter
scorer,
Jr. is a boss.
look, I have a Michael Porter Jr. jersey. I
know.
want him to succeed.
I know, man. Okay.
But he's not. But if he's
Okay.
not playing in the summer league, I cannot have trust in him.
Lil Dicky said in his freestyle, he said, I've been slept on like mattresses. I got my head right aspirin. And I'm telling you right now, y'all sleeping on my Nuggets.
They are. Everyone's sleeping on the Nuggets.
Y'all sleep. You got to straight up sleep on my Nuggets, and that's fine because the Nuggets are coming for the league next year. I'm not even joking. I know y'all think I'm joking out there. I got several people
ain't joking.
mentioning me and talking about me for believing in this, but I'm telling you right now, the Nuggets are for real, and we're coming for that neck next year. Say something.
Where I don't think we win it next year, but the year after that, there's a huge chance.
Come on. Come on.
So yeah, those are my top 5
That's your
moves.
top 5.
At 1 is the LA Clippers getting Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Al Horford and Josh Richardson heading to the Sixers.
Yeah.
At number 3 is KD and Kyrie heading up north to the Nets. At number 4 is number 4. What did I say? Number 4.
You don't go through a sum up if you can't remember it.
What did I say?
And number 4 was Scottie Pippen. He was. Number 4 was Floyd Mayweather Jr. He signed with the Big 3. Ice Cube looking at him as a point guard. Number 5 is Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf coming off the bench.
Well, can I say some actually small moves that could be great?
Sure.
DeMarcus Cousins going to the Lakers.
Could be great.
Could be great. JJ Redick going to the Pelicans.
Could be great.
And that's it.
That's it. Okay.
Those are the only 2 other memorable moves.
Danny Green going to the Lakers. Could be great.
Could be great.
I tell you what, I'm more scared of the Lakers than I am of the Clippers.
I
know
disagree with you
That's not
fully.
a popular opinion. I understand it.
They have no bench.
But I'm going to tell you right now, LeBron wasn't playing hard this year. He wasn't giving it his heart. And that team was hot garbage this year that he was playing with.
Once he got injured and he came back, he was not playing.
He was on like 67%.
I'm telling you, he might win the MVP this year.
Well, it's going to be hard to win the MVP when you got a guy like AD on your team with you. I'm really, really glad. I'm really, really, really glad that Kawhi did what he did. Because I think if Kawhi had gone to the Lakers, it would have been...
We would be in the same situation we were last year.
With a healthy Warriors team. Not this year with an unhealthy Warriors team. But, yeah, man. Wow. NBA free agency is special. All right. With all that said, I thought it'd be cool for us even... This is super early and we don't really know everything that's happened or that's going to happen. Because I still think Russ Westbrook is moving.
He's definitely on the move, I think.
I really think they're going to trade him. And Jay Felker, I'm talking to you. Your team is going bye-bye birdie. Okay?
Oh, is he an OKC fan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you poor
He's
soul.
always coming in my office trying to tell me about how OKC is
May
this
Damian
and that.
Lillard rest your team in
Yeah.
peace.
And I'm going to tell you something else. Rafael Nadal is not the greatest of all time. Don't you dare say it.
Are you insane?
That's what he says.
Jay, we're going to have a talk
Come
about
on,
this.
Falker.
We invited you onto the podcast. You can't be saying these outlandish stuff.
Come on, man. That's crazy. Ernie, somebody tell Ernie that Jay Felker is smoking the dope. All right. All right. Listen. All right. So
we love you, Jay.
let's go top 4 East, top 4 West. Who you got? I'll give you. You go your top 4 West. I go my top 4 West. Back and forth.
All right, top 4 West. Number 1, the Jazz. Number 2.
No, wait a second. Don't jump on my bandwagon. That's not what you really
I'm
believe.
saying it. No, I'm saying it.
You don't believe it.
No, Bogdanovich, Michael Conley, Donovan
Let me
Mitchell.
ask you a question then. How come in your top 5 free agent moves, you didn't mention the fact that they just got themselves a point guard? That was a crucial top 5 free agent move.
There was 5 really good moves other than that.
You didn't mention him. You're talking about Scottie Pippen. And yeah, they're talking about Dennis Rodman might come back.
Maroof.
He's out there looking for Kim Jong-un. You don't know what's going down.
All right. All right.
All right, go ahead.
All right. If you want me to change it, fine.
No.
Go.
Go with your gut, but I want you to know you're biting right now. You're biting because you know what I'm going to say. But go ahead.
You know what? I'm going to change it. I don't believe in the Jazz as the first seed.
Okay.
Clippers, Nuggets, Jazz, Lakers.
You are outside of your mind, but that's okay. My top four are Jazz, Nuggets, Lakers, Clippers.
You really do not believe in this Clippers team.
Nah, because you can have Paul George.
What about Lou Will? What about Pat Bev? What about Montrezl Harrell?
Did Beverly re-sign?
Yeah.
I thought he moved on.
No, he's still on that team.
Yeah, that's a good team.
What about Ivan Zubac?
That's a good team.
What about all their great bench players?
I can't argue with you about all this. All I can tell you is Nuggets. That's all I can say.
The only word you can say.
I'm going to tell you who's outside the playoffs, though.
Who?
Jay Felker's Oklahoma City.
They gone.
They gone.
Fifth seed might be the Trailblazers.
Peace. All right, that's enough of this crazy talk, man. Oh, top four East. Top four East. Who you got?
Sixers, Bucks, Celtics, Heat.
Sixers, Bucks, Celtics, Heat. That's your top four?
No. Sixers, Bucks, Pacers, Celtics.
Pacers? That's off the...
You're forgetting that the Pacers were the 3 seed before Victor Oladipo went down.
Okay.
Victor Oladipo is the real thing.
Wow. That's a hot take. I don't think I would argue with you about that. I mean, I go Bucks. You
don't believe in the Sixers.
Yeah, you can have them. You can have Ben Simmons. I understand that Horford makes them stronger, but you can have Ben Simmons.
They're the biggest team in the league, and they realized if we're going to take down Giannis, we need to go big.
Does Ben Simmons develop a jump shot in the offseason?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think if by now he's not doing it, he's not ever going to do it.
Well, I mean, Giannis is in his almost 6th season, and he's just now getting a shot.
Giannis is special. Okay, I got the Bucks, Celtics, Sixers, Heat. That's my top 4.
Question.
Yes.
Who's your top 5 players right now?
Whoa. Top 5 players in the league. Number 1, just based on this season and how they perform. Number 1, Kawhi. Number 2...
going into next season, who are you saying the top 5 are? 1 to 5.
So I don't have to put KD in there because he's injured.
Yeah.
Right?
Is
that what you're saying?
You don't have to, but you still can.
Top 5 players who will play in the league next year.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, Kawhi. Number 2, LeBron. Number 3, AD. Number 4... I want to say Kyrie, but he's such a knucklehead. You know it?
Yeah.
He's a knucklehead. He's out here doing crazy things. Flat Earth and stuff.
He doesn't believe in flat Earth. No way.
I think he does. I think he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Ernie, Kyrie is smoking the dope. Oh, man. And I guess number 5 is Jokic. Surprise you with that one.
No.
Oh, I didn't say Giannis. Let me get Kyrie out of there and put Giannis in there.
All right. Let me tell you the top 5.
Tell me.
Number 5, Damian Lillard.
I love him.
Love him. Great guy. Great player. Number 4, Nikola Jokic.
My man. Nuggets! No, see, you too aggressive with it. You're going to hurt people.
Sorry, I just...
You got to look straight up in the air when you say it. Nuggets! There you go. That's my boy.
All right, there we go. And number 3, Giannis.
Uh-huh.
Number 2, Kawhi.
Wow.
Number 1, LeBron James.
You still think so?
He's not lost his crown.
Yeah.
People are crazy by saying Kawhi's the best after 1 season.
No, they're not.
LeBron has done it consistently. He had an off season last year because he had an injury. The man's going to come back next year and dominate.
Right, but he's younger. He plays better defense, and he's a machine.
True.
I mean,
I can't say you're wrong. I'm saying LeBron's better.
Have you seen the size of the man's hands?
Yes.
It's the size of your sternum. Like if he patted you on the chest, the palm would be on your belly.
It'll be from right here to here.
Like it would be like your whole hand, your whole chest would be a handprint. You know what I'm saying? His hands are prehistoric. That's why he should be with the Raptors.
I wish he was still with the Raptors.
You know? All right, that's enough of that. Man, let's get into one of our favorite segments of this and every week, and that is the Stroup Award.
Stroup, baby, Stroup, baby, Stroup. This award is called the Stroup, baby, Stroup. This is Stroup. This award is called the Stroup.
If you're new to the pod, then you may not know where in the world did this come from, the Stroup Award. Every week on the podcast, because this is a father-son pod, it's important for me to keep pushing my son to pay attention to the little things that he is learning in life. And so, you know, each week, something that he has learned that has stood out to him, whether it be something he learned at school or at church or somewhere else, we want to give him a chance to talk about it and give props to the person who taught him that lesson. And so it's named after one of Justice's all-time favorite teachers, Miss Kathy Stroup, who is just a legend. She's awesome. Shout out to Miss Stroup. And so we wrote the little song as a way to remember her and to give Justice an opportunity to talk about what he learned. So, Justice, what have you learned and who taught you?
So this week, my dad taught me something.
Wow.
About a week ago. I know, surprise. He was useful for once.
Oh.
Wow. He wasn't playing tennis all night.
Man.
What a surprise.
The shots are hitting me directly in the soul.
I'm sorry.
You're not.
Well, I mean, it is true, so.
Yeah, well, it's hard. It's hard out here in these streets. You got to win something, you know?
Hey, you're winning at tennis, and you're winning at not being home.
Hey, sounds like I'm winning at tennis and winning the Stroup Award. So let's move forward here.
I'm just kidding. He's home. Some that my dad taught me while we were in Colorado, because what they usually do on the Colorado trip is play poker. And since I'm 14 now, I was about to say 13, he decided to teach me poker. Now, I won the first night, just want to say that, but there was no money involved. So I didn't win money.
You're a natural when no money is on the line.
Because I just go, hey, this sounds
Honestly,
fun.
though, like you played really well. You folded a lot, which is part of what I tried to teach you was that, you know, probably 60 to 70% of the hands you see in Texas No Limit Hold'em are fold hands. You should not be playing all those hands. And you did a good job at that. And you really, that night, you were catching great cards that first night.
I was.
I really actually was like sad for you because once you sit at a real poker table and look down at Queen 3 for like 2 hours and you go, I hate this game. I hate everything about it. And you get like 9-4, you know, Jack 6 for like 2 hours. And every one of those hands is like, you should fold that hand. And then finally you go, whoa, 2 queens. I have a pair of queens. And the flop comes ace, ace, king. And you're like, okay, you know what? I hate this game with all that I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of bad when you have a night where you caught 2 straights, a flush, 2 full houses, 4 3-of-a-kinds, and we're all looking at you like, bro, what is going on? And then the next night when we played, you had kind of a regular night, and you got busted pretty quick.
Well, I came third.
Yeah, you did good. You did good. Andrew was worse than you because Andrew had never played, and Andrew, upon learning how to play the game, spent the rest of the Colorado trip.
He spent 48 hours on his phone playing poker. Literally,
he was never not playing poker on his phone, which, you know.
While drumming, he was playing poker on his phone.
Man, do you know, though, I mean, some of you might be listening to this and thinking, what a terrible father. Like, this is what you're teaching your son, how to play poker. And I want you all to know, shut up. No,
it was,
I want you all to know that, like, to me, poker is such a good analogy for life in so many different ways. Like learning how to read people, learning how to watch, how to pay close attention, learning how to be aggressive when you need to, and learning how to just chill out when you need to, and really learning how to switch up the pace and what to do. To me, the cards in poker are 20% of the game. The betting is 80% of it. When to bet, how to bet, why to bet, how much to bet.
I would say that's 50. 50% to 50% is betting, and then 30% is reading the other person.
Sure.
And then 20% is the cards.
That's fair. I like that. That's good. And so anyway, we had a good time on our trip, and it was low stakes poker. Justice gets paid for babysitting, and so the next night we all said, okay, $5 game, and we played tournament style, and the blinds kept going up and up, and we just had a lot of fun. And it doesn't matter who won that one, but I think we all know who did.
Let's just say the Fikes won that week.
The Fikes were dominant. And Andrew and Blake and Nathan and Dana, all of you know not to mess with us in the future, right?
Now more you.
Andrew, though, man, he really got into it.
Andrew got addicted.
It was fun.
It was honestly one of those cases where you saw someone get addicted to something.
Because he's really kind of a quiet guy, and then all of a sudden he came alive. He really enjoyed it.
As soon as we played poker that first night, that was the first time I actually really got to talk to him.
Yeah,
Andrew's really cool.
He's a good dude.
And I'm not saying that to be rude to Nick.
Nick. Who's Nick?
I don't know.
Who is Nick?
I was trying, because we had a previous person on the band named Nick.
Yeah.
And I was thinking Nick.
Yeah.
And then Blake, because they're very similar, Nick and Blake.
All right, well, man,
So-
let's get done with this pod. All we have left to do is our question game, so let's get into that, and then we'll call it a night.
All right.
And I have a question for everybody here tonight.
Asking all these questions, why you asking all these questions? Asking all these questions, why you asking all these questions? Asking all these questions, why you ask so many questions?
Hey, let me ask you something.
I got a question.
Let the games begin.
All right, we kind of buried the lead. We didn't really want to give it away. We wanted to allow this to stay a surprise, but one of our favorite people on the earth, spelled UHRFF, on the earth.
That's how Kyrie would spell it.
Oh, that's harsh. Well, that would be the FLATURFF. That's how Kyrie would spell it. All right, anyway, one of our favorite people is here with us today. He came all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
A young man who just has been precious to our family since we lived in Baton Rouge. A brother named Christopher J. Schmidt.
You know, my first name is John, and my middle name is Christopher.
Dadgummit, I did it. So it's J. Christopher Schmidt.
Schmidt Jr.
J. Christopher sounds like just an awesome restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, you want to meet up at J. Christopher's tonight?
Yeah, I think there might actually be a restaurant called J. Christopher.
Well, there's J. Alexander's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Ruth's Chris. So
Right.
Just like,
I never understood Ruth's Chris.
I think it was like him and his wife, and maybe Ruth was the wife.
So it's like, is that Jay's Chris? No, that's Ruth's Chris.
Yeah, Ruth's Chris.
That's the dumbest thing. How did that happen?
I don't know.
Why
the
couldn't it
history.
just be Chris Steakhouse? Chris's Steakhouse. Why did it gotta be Ruth's Chris Steakhouse?
Well, it's memorable.
It doesn't make
Don't
any
ask
sense.
questions, just accept that they have good food.
That's true. Best steak in the game. All right, so Chris Schmidt, give us a 45-second synopsis of your life at the moment. Tell us where you are, what you're doing, what you're passionate about. Give us like a snapshot into Chris Schmidt.
Cool, yeah. I am currently in New Orleans. I'm a dental school student about to start my second year. So that's pretty much my life. That's what I'm passionate about. The Lord really led me there, which was a super cool story that's not going to take 45 seconds. But so I'm down there, and I have 3 more years, including this year, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Any ladies on on the radar?
No, but if you're listening, you can hit me up, Facebook, Instagram.
Hold on, let me get in here.
Put faithful followers.
Let me put some more EQ on your voice. Let me get some depth and some low end.
Yeah, I'm pretty sexy as a person, so if you want to just hit me up, just let me know. I have a great personality too, and Fike knows me, so if I get the endorsement from him,
you get that Fike shine.
That's all you need in life.
Hey, you got a face for radio. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
That's rude.
I think that's the nicest thing you ever said to me.
Wow. All right, so Chris, you're a faithful listener, and by the way, shout out to one of our other Baton Rouge homies, Taylor. You just said her last name, and it freaked me out because I still don't think of her as this, but go ahead and say it.
Good old Taylor Lawless.
Taylor Lawless, a faithful listener, but that's not how we knew her. Yeah, we knew her as Taylor Williams, and then she married Tyler Lawless, which is just an incredible name. Tyler Lawless.
That's great.
Like he belongs on Deadwood, you know? Anyway.
Deadwood.
What's Deadwood? It's a show on HBO that you're not allowed to watch.
That's
okay, we got 3 questions this week. 3 questions, Justice. We'll go in order. I'll ask these questions and you guys will answer. Number 1, do you think the phrase, follow your dreams, is a good one to live by? This is a question brought to us by Brandon, a good buddy of mine, Brandon Collins, who, by the way, has followed his dreams. So not really fair, Brandon. Brandon is a songwriter, and he is also a symphonic arranger, and is working with people like U2 and One Republic. I mean, the dude is bonkers
So
talented.
he's super low key.
Yeah.
So he's, main stage. Like, he made it.
Yeah, he made it. He made it.
I guess you haven't made it yet.
Yeah, I'm not main stage.
Nah, you made it.
I'm on the side
Second
stage.
Nah, you made it. You made it.
That's hard
When
stuff.
you get to Nashville, yeah, you've made it.
Okay, well then I made it because I'm going tomorrow. All right, so so Justice, do you think the phrase "follow your dreams" is a good one to live by?
It depends on the situation. If your dream is outlandish and clearly can't be done, then no, you shouldn't follow it. But if it's like something that is attainable, the path towards it, then yeah, you should obviously go after it.
That's an interesting question for you because, honestly, your dream is crazy.
It's pretty outlandish, but it is obtainable.
Yeah. I love that Nike ad campaign that it's only crazy until you do it.
Yeah.
Right? All right, Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I didn't really know that dentistry was my dream until it was just kind of like a developed passion for me. I think it's a great phrase, great way to live. But I think your dreams can change too. So I think you got to be, what's the word? Tactful, I guess, with your decisions. And somebody could come in and totally not mess it up, but that alters your path,
Yeah, or you have a new experience and it changes the way you understand the world.
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted to be a NASCAR driver when I was 5.
That's true.
And then I wanted to develop video games. And now I want to, be a general manager. So
Specifically for the Denver Broncos.
just for any team.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Unless its owner, the Knicks, is crazy and has no idea what he's doing.
I need some help.
Then you don't want to work
James
for them.
Dolan. Sorry.
Right. Okay, he's listening, but whatever.
I don't care. I'm never gonna get an offer to be the New York.
We're
Knicks
deep in the
general
New York
manager.
streets, dog. We're big in that market.
I understand.
We're big in that market.
Completely understand. Sorry,
It's
James.
a huge market.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, Dolan.
They know
You're
us.
just a really bad owner.
I saw a Fight Club T-shirt in Times Square. No,
We don't, that's what we need to work on. We need to get some
we
merch.
need some Fight Club merch. You
Yo,
know,
I'm totally down to help you make some merch.
no one asked me, but I'll answer the question. Do you think the phrase "follow your dreams" is a good one to live by? No, I do not. Second question. What's the hardest?
No explanation.
No
we're
explanation, just
here
no.
for it.
I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you why.
All right,
I'll tell you why. What's more important is not what I'm dreaming, but what is God dreaming for me. Whoa, drop the Jesus
Well, if we
juke.
were going to do that, I should have done that in my answer.
Jesus juke 'em, you know what I'm saying? You don't know about these
Look,
Jesus jukes.
I thought we were gonna stay away from Jesus because you know
What?
that's
No, sorry, Lord.
no, I thought like in the
You've been
answer.
hanging around with these gay frogs too much, I can tell you that.
Oh, Lord.
That's an inside joke from earlier. All right, no, because here's the deal. I could dream all day, but what matters is what is God dreaming for me, because if I can tap into that, then I'm going to have success in life, and I'm going to find the most joy and satisfaction. Right?
Completely agree.
Good. All right, number 2. What's the hardest choice you've ever had to make? Wow. Wow. What is it, Justice? What's the hardest choice?
Can you guys go first?
We'll let Schmitty go first.
Because I mean, you two have had longer lives.
Oh.
Yeah, not that much longer,
You see
bro.
that
I'm only
sneakiness?
10. I'm only 10 years older than you, man.
No. What I'm saying is, like, I've had a shorter
No,
life.
he was
so
talking
mine is-
about me. That was the ageist joke.
No, I'm saying you've had a
What do
harder.
you think, Joe Biden?
No, I
What
was,
does he have to do with anything?
He's old,
He's
dog.
old, but
He's
Bernie's older.
Sleepy Joe, man. He's out there sleeping.
look. No, what I was saying is like, you guys have experienced more in life than I have, so your decisions probably are harder.
I'm gonna let you take this one first because I'm having a hard time like figuring out what's the hardest choice I ever had.
I think the hardest choice that I made, honestly, was leaving Colorado to go to Baton Rouge. That was really, really hard because we were so entrenched and we were so loved and supported, and we left happy. Like when Rick Pitino, the coach, you know who Rick Pitino is? He coached for Kentucky for a long time. He went and coached for the Celtics and sucked at it. He was terrible. He wasn't a good coach. And they
like
asked
Nick
him,
Saban in the NFL.
well, they asked him, what did you learn? And he said, don't mess up happy. And so when we were leaving Colorado, I was really afraid that we were messing up happy. And, you know, I look back on it now and I go, man, God's so good. Like, God's so faithful. And even if it was the right or the wrong decision, it doesn't matter. God's going to be faithful in it, and he's going to be with you no matter what. But I was nervous and worried about that moment. So that's mine. That was a hard decision because it meant taking you, Justice, away from the only home you'd ever known, the only town you'd ever known, and putting you into South Louisiana from Colorado Springs, which you talk about culture shock.
That was because we went from city in Colorado Springs to straight out country.
Yeah.
I like that.
Boy, that is the city, man.
Straight out country. No,
No.
we were in Livingston,
We
dog.
were in Livingston.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Bare
Baton
feet
Rouge.
on an RV on a Tuesday
I
night
was
at
thinking about
9:30 p.m.
y'all's new house that you got.
No, that was city.
That was
in the
good.
Baton Rouge city limits.
Yeah, that was city.
So, yeah, that was city. But like that one year, I had no friends.
Right. You had a
I
hard
knew
time.
like I didn't know.
And there were gay frogs everywhere.
there were gay frogs. What can I
I'm
say?
just worried about the gay frogs. I don't know why.
I'll tell you what, I'm nervous about these
I'm-
gay frogs.
There's something in my spirit that
Yeah.
is.
We figured out that it's Alex Jones. That's where that came from, by the way. So while we were waiting for Chris to get here, we
All right,
watched it. So.
I'm ready now.
Go. Hardest
So-
choice you've ever had to make, Chris.
Well, it seemed easy at the time, but I think not this past year, but the year before, I took a year off from school, and I had already kind of decided that I would take my year off, but I didn't really understand what that meant, and didn't really understand like what was going to happen, and the Lord did so much in my life, and especially towards in the spring semester. I mean, like I alluded to it earlier, but like I just basically had like almost like I didn't understand how like small my faith was in the Lord until he really brought me through a season where it was like him like showing me how faithful he was. I literally like I didn't get into dental school in like November, and then I tried to get into nursing school, and then that didn't work, and then like the Lord got me an interview in like March for school, and then I got put on the wait list.
Wow.
And I was like knew I was going to China, And I told that to the dean of admissions, but all that to say, it just it really worked out. And right when we were leaving, that's when the Lord was like, all right, you're going to dental school. So I moved from China to New Orleans.
You lived in China?
For 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was legit. It was awesome.
Could you find a church, or was it just a bunch of atheists?
Well, I mean, we were going over there to do
to work for the chapel church.
Yeah.
Chapel in China. So, Justice, what about you? You never answered the question. What is the hardest choice you've ever had to make? Boxers or briefs, or?
That's rude.
Well, I mean, it's a legit question.
Should I wake up at 11 a.m.
or 11 p.m.
or 11 p.m. today? Which is it?
It's usually 11 p.m.
I know.
So, yeah. I've along the lines of what you were saying, deciding to agree with you guys on, it's time to move. Because I've never really had to make a hard decision other than, should I study? I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a hard decision. The
That's
answer
always
is
a
yes.
yes, yeah.
Yes, but if I don't study, I still get an A and I get to put less work.
Oh, see, I pulled that move in middle school and high school and most of college, and that doesn't fly once you...
No.
It really doesn't.
Not when you're messing with people's grills.
But, yeah. But also...
You have better had studied about my molars.
Oh, I have.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I got little teeth, and I need you to know
Yeah, you
all
do
about
have
them.
little teeth,
Don't
yeah.
talk about my teeth. I can talk
You
about
said...
my teeth. I can talk about them. You can't talk about my teeth.
I mean, I'm going to be a dentist.
I have yellow
I'm going to
teeth,
see some teeth.
Do I get free
eventually.
grills for all the investment we made in your life?
Yeah, we can get you some free grills. What kind of grills you want?
It helps to know people. That's all I'm saying. All right, so your hardest choice, Justice, was to study or not to study. That's what you said?
No, to agree with you guys, hey, it's time to move.
Oh, yeah, but you were part of it. That's right. We asked you, and you actually 100% weighed in and said that you felt like if the Lord was moving us, then you didn't want to stand in the way. Mm-hmm. That was cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
Even though
right.
I going back to Colorado last week was very hard for the first day.
Yeah, you were emotional last week.
I was emotional for the first day.
Yeah. We went to this park to bring Judah out to play, and Justice was like, this brings back memories.
I didn't cry. I just had a smile.
Sounds like me. I mean, you know.
I had a smile and said, this brings back memories.
This has nothing to do with anything, but I just want to tell this story because I want to put it on the podcast. One of the funniest things that Judah is doing right now is he says yes and no. So, if he wants you to do something, he will ask you to do it, and then he will say to you, yes and no. What he means is yes or no, okay? So, he was standing on the slide, and there was this little girl at the top of the slide standing in front of him. And I watched him say to this little girl, are you going to slide? Yes and no. Are you going to slide? Yes and no. And she started to answer. And he went, yes and no. Just like that.
This man has some
and
sass
dude,
on him.
I was laughing so hard. You have to hear him say it because it's really, really funny. All right. Third and last question of the week. What is more embarrassing? Ooh, this is a good one. Someone catching you picking your nose or someone hearing you fart? Wow.
That's an easy question.
What's more embarrassing, the
Easy.
fart or the nose pick?
Bruh.
Nose pick, because in middle school, everyone farts.
What?
That's gross. I don't know
You
about
can't just be farting in class.
Nah, everybody, about one person every year.
even
does
the
it.
girls.
Not really the girls, but I'm talking about the boys. The boys have just gained a tolerance for
Let
it.
me tell you something that's going to mess you up. When you hear a really cute girl fart, that's going to mess you up, dude. You're not going to know what to do about it.
I still don't think I've ever heard a girl fart.
What?
No.
Nah, that's not true.
How long will I be in this house? Dana come in the house. Burp. What you got to say about it now?
Yeah,
Say something.
I heard. you
Actually,
do
that's
it.
not true. I did hear this one girl fart freshman year in my dorm. She tried to play it off like I didn't actually do it. She was laughing and
How do you play off a fart?
well, she was laughing and then and then we were like, oh, we just went and she stopped laughing and then she got up and left
Because
immediately.
you can't. There's no way to play it off.
Yeah.
I have done that so many times where I'm laughing really hard and just, whoa, what just happened? And I just go, I just keep laughing and try to play like it never happened. Do you know?
That's the move.
Yeah, you just cover it up with the laughs.
Yeah,
But you can't cover up the smell. The silent but deadly ones, they'll get you, man.
See, like, here's the problem. Here's the problem.
On a road trip, you drop an SPD on them.
SPD?
Yeah, that's what you
My
call
dad
it.
always calls that the one cheek sneak. You just gotta lift your leg a little bit.
Yeah. That's the thing about boys, too. Boys are going to lift that one cheek up.
That's what I'm like.
Really,
that's what I do.
Increases the airflow.
But what I've realized is it makes it louder.
Yeah.
And like,
you got to stifle that son of a gun.
Because if I would like do this, and it'll come out.
It's an audio format. No one can see what you're doing.
I can see you, but I understand.
So like I'll lift my left cheek.
Oh.
And I just used the right cheek.
That was your right cheek.
I know.
In case you're wondering.
I know. Look, I got it. You'll lift the left cheek. It'll come out. It'll ricochet off of it and make more noise.
All these big words. You said ricochet.
You know, the only place I will fart really, and this is bad, the only place I will fart unapologetically is on like a 5-hour flight. I feel like that's the cutoff.
You get up to go to the bathroom to do that, or
no.
you just hit it right there?
Just like I just,
Wait, real question though. You ever farted inside yourself a little bit?
What?
You know, like I'm gonna just share some things, personal things right now. No, but you're trying to hold in a fart and it accidentally goes the other way.
No, Chris, I don't think that's anatomically possible.
It's never happened to me either. I
No.
just heard it.
No, it's never happened to me.
Asking for a friend. No, I will. Every now and then on a flight, if it's 4.5 hours or longer, I will just let it fly. Nobody can hear it.
Yeah, but that's like it's not like in the car when you can push uncirculate and you get some fresh air in.
You're really true about that.
Like
it feels to me like if you're sitting on it, it's not going to go anywhere.
What's it just going to sit in your underwear?
Yeah, it just sits and ruminates and just ponders.
That's gross.
Yeah,
that's almost gross. More gross than farting inside yourself.
So I mean, man, in Colorado, because of the air density or lack thereof, boogers are like such a thing.
Yeah.
Like you can't not have boogers
I had 5
in Colorado.
bloody nose.
People are always kind of messing with their nose and picking on it in Colorado. So but I guess if you got your fingers shoved all the way up in that son of a gun,
you're just scratching your brain because it's so big.
That's the biggest problem. That was like my worst habit from Colorado.
Yeah. I tell you when never to fart. You ready?
When?
On an elevator.
That's
even if you're alone in that elevator, because you go and this go boom. Here comes the door open. Somebody walked in. Whoa, somebody. And you look at them like, I know it's been this way the whole time. No, it's you. You did it. You know you did it.
Yeah, somebody just got off and they farted and left.
They left it.
They left me
it
behind.
Wasn't me, sir. I don't understand.
He got off at the floor right below me.
Yeah, it's mustard gas up in here. I can't help you with it. Anyway. All right. Well, this has been a very fabulous ending of a wonderful episode. So much that we've talked about. Please holler at us at The Fight Club, Twitter, Instagram. Talk to us about what's going on in your life. Let us know what kind of questions you have for us. These questions, by the way, that last question was provided to us by Jack, the youth pastor at Doxology Church. And so, that's the kind of mind he's working with.
Yeah, and one of the other questions he asked was, who let the dogs out?
Yes. Who let those dogs out?
Jack, I think it was you.
Jack, we know you did it. And so, man, talk to us, holler at us, let us know how we can pray for you, what's going on in your life. We love our listeners and are very grateful for each of you. And we want to hear from you, so holler at us. And we love you. We'll talk to you soon. I'm going to Nashville next week. What's the next movie we're going to cover, Jay?
Ooh, we might just do a throwback. You give me a movie that you love from the old times. I'll watch it this week.
Yeah.
And you watch it while you're in Nashville.
That's good. Okay, it's been a minute since we've done an oldie. So we'll probably hit that for next week. All right, without further ado, we love you guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Peace.
Peace.